Welcome to Fret Not. My name's Rob.
My name's Colton.
So this is not the high gauge series.
Nope.
We are going to do a quick video for you guys. We had some comments and some people wanted us to put some extra content out. We're kind of on a schedule when we put out the regular videos. They're once a week. Don't get me wrong. I really like you guys, but I can't afford to spend. This channel can't afford to spend, what we're spending to put out 3, 4, 5 videos a week, because that means a new guitar every time we put one out. That's our motto. So what we're going to do, just for a couple minutes, man, we're just going to talk to you about a few things, tell you what we do, a little bit about ourselves and what we use while we're doing this, stuff like that. So first order of business, everybody knows we use the Quad Cortex. It's just simple. Been stupid amazed with it. Looked at all the different brands. I'm not saying it's better than FX. I'm not saying it's better than anything else out there. I'm just saying for simplicity, I really like it. They constantly update it. I can get on the cloud, man. I can pull it. Just about anybody that uses the Quad Cortex or even thinks they use it and get their tones. So that's really cool.
Yeah, that's really neat.
And we can do a whole lot of stuff just in your bedroom is why we use it. We do use Yamaha studio monitors. I've been around Yamaha studio monitors for pretty much my whole life, or close to it. That's a long time. But anyway, long story short, they just work. Really good sound. I'm sure there's somebody else out there that's probably as good, maybe a little better, maybe a little worse. I don't know. You just kind of ride with what you know.
Yeah, it just works for us.
Yeah. So between that, now another thing we're doing a little bit different. This is not a podcast, so we don't have a desk. We don't have microphones. So we did a ton of research, the way we do everything. And we came up with these Larks, these little Mark IIs.
Little lapel
and they
mics.
just clip on. They're magnetic. They actually have a function on them to where it's noise canceling. Whenever you see that green light, it's noise canceling. So when my kiddo is running around in the other room, hopefully you don't hear that. When the wife yells at me from across the house, there you go. So we use these. It has a little app you put on your phone, put on your tablet, wherever you want to plug it into. It's got a extremely long range. I do use it at times in my day job. It's amazing for what you pay for it. I think it was $200 for 2 mics.
Yeah.
Now it is not a Shure. It's not that $900 one that sits on the desk or hanging. But I'm telling you what, but for day-to-day use, I don't think you can beat it.
For what we need them for, I think they sound pretty good.
They do. They do. So everything we run through the computer back here, through the Quad Cortex, running Yamaha studio monitors. Everything that you hear in the mix is coming out of Studio One. There's a ton of stuff in Studio One, and everybody has their own DAW. I'm not going to tell you it's better than Reaper. I'm not going to tell you it's better than anything else. It's just what worked for me, so I snatched it. It works really good. We try to use, let me back up. We try to use DaVinci Resolve to do all the video editing. And if you've ever seen anything stupid on this channel from video, it's my fault because I do that. I'm not that great at it. So what we're going to talk about for just a couple minutes, this is a short video, talk about why we're doing this. So long story, not going back through it, but I started to search for me a white guitar. And other than big box builders, couldn't find one. I got over looking at all the beautiful custom-made guitars. And like we said last week, I'm like, man, they're going to be pissed off if I tell them to paint that guitar white.
Yeah.
So I kept buying one and then another and then another. I was like, ooh, that's cool. Ooh, that's cool. But never did get a white guitar. We have a remedy for that. It's coming up real soon. But the purpose of this is I am no different. He is no different than you. I don't care what station of life you're in. When we started, right before we started this channel, neither one of us ever bought a custom guitar. I've always went to Guitar Center, Musician's Friend, Sweetwater, Billy Bob's Guitar Store. There is a huge plus to that because you can put your hands on it.
Yeah.
Now, this series has been about custom guitars. We want to make something clear. You don't have to spend this kind of money to get a good playing guitar. But I do think you really need to go put your hands on it, as opposed to, or man, you have better have done a lot of research if it's, not an expense like you pay for a custom guitar. Because a lot of stuff comes off factory lines. It's kind of hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So regardless of what you buy, go find something that you like. It don't matter what it is. It don't matter what color it is. What matters is how it feels when you play it and how it sounds.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. So the reason we did this channel, me and him were talking, and he rode this roller coaster with me on trying to buy all these guitars and try to figure out how to do all this stuff. And so what we're trying to do on this channel is just to show you the process, what happens.
Mm-hmm.
We're taking a large sum of money and kind of going,
here you go.
So research. Keyword. If there's a ton of people online and, they're like, man, this guy builds the best guitars in the world, chances are probably builds a really good guitar.
Yeah.
There are bigger box builders. And, Kiesel started out as a custom company, and it is a custom company. And a lot of people give Kiesel crap, but I will tell you this, Kiesel is a very rare breed. I'm not taking up for them, but it's a semi-custom to custom. Can you go on there and buy one that's already built? Absolutely.
Yep.
But for a much better price than most builders, because they build more in volume, you can kind of customize a guitar and get it at a pretty good price.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to talk in a minute, but so I really love, and I don't even know why, but I can't say this on the regular channel. I really love the ESP E2s because they're the original customs. They're the original out of Japan. They're built in Japan, the E2s. Of course, they have a custom USA now, but you're probably going to be $7,000 for getting one of them.
A little bit.
And you're probably going to wait a year, maybe longer. So the E2s are made in Japan. I'm not saying it's built by one human being, but it is the original ESP, not LTD, the original ESP. So I love those. But I went to buy one this year, and the new line for 2024.
Mm-hmm.
And they have 12, 15 guitars, whatever it is they're just selling for this line. And they had about 5 that I would have loved to own, but every one of them has something on it that I don't like.
Yeah.
And, they're probably around let's just say $2,200 to $3,200. So in actuality, they're priced really well, but they choose the bridges,
mm-hmm.
they choose the pickups, they choose the type of woods. And most of the time it's, I'm perfectly fine with it because it's high end.
Yeah.
But it's I don't want that bridge. I do not want those pickups.
Yeah.
So you got to pay all that money
hardware.
and you're going to pay for it. And then you got to turn around and change it. So not picking on ESP. I played them for years. Love some of their guitars. But that's why I think Kiesel really comes into play. Because for the same money you pay for an E2, you can get on Kiesel's website and start at their base, which is around $1,500-$1,600. And by the time you get that up about $1,000 in the mid twos, you could customize that guitar to be your woods, your colors,
mm-hmm.
your configuration,
and not have to compromise anything.
Right. And my biggest pet peeve, I guess, if there was a guitar that played like a $3,000 or $4,000 guitar and somebody was selling it for $600 and it was new and it had what I thought was horrible pickups, I'd be okay changing the pickups. I just don't like changing the pickups from the way they came.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird. If I see a used guitar somewhere, which I really don't buy used, but if I see a used guitar and I know what pickups came in and it's got another set in there, I'm like, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
It just doesn't do anything for me.
Yeah. So
that's what we're doing this channel for. Believe it or not, Colton is the mastermind of this whole scheme.
I don't know about that.
He gives me points and pushes me in the right directions all the time as to what we're doing. Real quick, we are going to be doing giveaways. We're working with some people right now. We're probably going to do another series as soon as these 10's over with. Hopefully by that time, the channel would have picked up a little bit more traction.
Mm-hmm.
If it gets a little bit more traction, some more subs, please sub. It don't hurt you. It don't matter.
It's just one little click.
If you don't like it when we put out a video in your sub, turn the notifications off.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
I
right.
don't want you to do that, but if you just don't want to get the notification, just turn it off. Come back and watch us whenever you want to.
At your leisure.
Right. So we're just trying to simplify and take some of the fear, because whether he knows it, my wife knows it, my kid knows it, there was a whole lot of fear sending $3,000 somewhere, $3,500 somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never touched it. I guess what got me over that was channels like this, or probably better channels than ours, but you know what I mean. Where you get a little bit closer to the builder, and it's not just sending your money into the ether. I mean, we all know that there's probably countries out there, from our own personal experience, probably not too comfortable sending money to.
Yeah.
Just out of the blue. Hey, but man, I found out every country has amazing builders.
Right.
Now, I'm not telling you to send your money to all these countries, but they do.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good builders out there, man. So that's what we do. We just get on here and waste your time. That's our job. So what we're going to do, we're going to end this with something completely off character for us, but you need to know about it. Get the solar. So while I'm buying guitars, I had an itch to buy a guitar. We already had everything ordered. Everything's being made. Ain't nothing coming in for a while. It was right around Christmas. Solar, Ola, had a big sale. Buy one of their top of the line regular guitars. Yes, it's made in the factory. Yes, I know. It is not part of that series.
We're aware.
Buy one of these and you get one of their lower tier guitars free. Well, it was a 3-day nightmare, because I believe everybody on the planet was trying to get that deal on the internet, and it broke their website for like a week. Put in a ticket with them. They finally got it fixed. They messaged me back and they're like, yeah, pick what you want. Well, by that time, there's only like 3 guitars left.
Yeah.
that you can pick from. So in the past, years ago, I had heard that these were really good guitars, but I'd also heard they had problems with the ebony on the fretboards, and it was cracking. And I don't think it's them. I just think it's where they got the ebony from, or whatever. It's not these guys. But I'm going to tell you what. I have about 1,100 US into this guitar, and that's got an Everton on it. And that's a 25.5. And trying to protect myself, I went with a roasted rosewood board and neck, so I wouldn't have to get into the ebony part.
Yeah.
So I could just kill the ebony part altogether.
Take out the worry.
It's probably an older body. I don't really remember. It is not super high-end wood. It is painted in a matte gold, which would have been the very last color I would have ever chosen. But it was what was available. So I got this, and I also got a little 4-string bass from them, which is I ended up selling to somebody almost immediately because they wanted it because of the colors. And I ended up buying our bass that we use here. But dude, I don't know if they can see. This is a speed demon.
Yeah.
The first thing I thought when I ordered this guitar is the day I get it, I'm replacing the pickups. I just, these are Duncan designed for Solar. So I'm like, yeah, they're just probably pure garbage. I wouldn't touch that guitar. That is a beast. Now, everything we talk about is somewhere between $2,000 and $5,000. If that's not something you can do, I'm not telling you to order ones with ebony fretboard. I think they have that corrected. But dude, you ain't gonna play nothing that plays better than that in that price range. It is amazing. I took it straight to my luthier. He had never touched one. He had never even touched a Everton. And he just fell in love with it. He said the only thing I'd change would be the color. And I'm like, yeah, but that's what they had.
Yeah.
So do yourself a favor, man. Even if it's a used one, go put your hands on one of these in a guitar store. It might convince you. Now, I ended up getting this configuration with the single in the front because I felt like from listening to it online, they didn't really clean up that well at all. And I wanted it to be more like more than that old ESP I had that was a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm.
So I put this little rail on the front. That was the one I ordered the way they built it. And I'm going to tell you what, that little sucker is violent too.
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
And it does clean up really nice. So we are not in the high gain series. I don't need 35 people messaging me. What the crap is that? I had already had somebody do it on our preview. They were like, why is Solar in there?
Yeah, it's a different
that ain't
series.
a high-end guitar.
Mm-hmm. We want to try and review anything, maybe
right.
everything.
And we've got a lot of different guitars we're going to review. But this thing, I think it was like $1,100, man. If you play the type of music we play or harder, which you probably do or you wouldn't be here, you need to put your hands on one of those little suckers, man.
Mm-hmm.
The neck is tiny. I have little bitty short hands, and it just feels like I dwarf it. And it's super fast.
It is.
Super smooth. Could you chain the pickup? I guess. But, man, I don't know what they charge for those pickups separately. But it can't be more than 60, 70, 80 bucks, maybe $100. But those are really good. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me, but I'm sure Ola had something to do with the tone of those because, I mean, he's got them for his.
Yeah, they sound really good.
All in all, fantastic little guitar, man. And I'm not ashamed or afraid to jump up on stage with it and play with it. I think it just about does everything.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so we just wanted to show you that because we're not really going to do a full review on it. But go check that out, dude. That's a really good guitar.
Mm-hmm.
And if, finances are constrained a little bit, that cuts a lot of these prices in half or a third. And you can do a lot worse than buying that guitar, man. And if you like heavy music, that's going to do it.
Yeah, it's a great guitar. It plays good. It sounds good. It's, another weird compliment. It's not overly heavy, but yeah, it's for what you would pay for it. It's good.
But the gold is really not my gig.
No, I'm not. It's gold. I just think of Mr. T a little bit when I pick it up. That's all right.
So when I ordered it, it looked yellow online.
Yeah.
And then after I ordered it, it said antique gold. And I thought, was that a form of yellow?
Yeah.
But when it got here, it ain't yellow. It's antique gold.
Yeah, it's gold.
It's got a true Evertune on it. That's probably retail $350, $400 bridge right here. You pay $1,100 for this guitar. Say what you want. I'm just telling you, man, that's a good deal. Mm-hmm. And I've had this guitar for 6, 7 months?
Yeah, about that.
The first 2 days I had it, I took it to my luthier, and he had to learn how to do Evertunes. He figured it out. We tuned. I've never tuned that guitar since. And I guarantee you plug that guitar right now, it's in tune. It don't go out of tune. It's amazing. And I'm running it between, if you know anything about Evertunes, there's 3 stages. There's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. Stage 1, you can bend them strings all you want to. It ain't going to do nothing. It is going to hold that tuning. Stage 2, when you get to the edge of 2 and 3, right on that border, you can bend. Now, I will tell you this, and you can testify to this. It's a little different how you bend, isn't it?
A little bit.
Your bend has to be more deliberate.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that makes sense, but it has to be a little bit more deliberate. But you can bend that string, 2 or 3 notes.
Yeah.
And it's still on Evertune, and it's still in tune. So, just wanted to show you guys that to give you something different. We're human beings. We're not robots. We don't have nobody giving us no money. We don't have nothing. We try to appease you guys as much as we can.
Mm-hmm.
Some stuff we just can't do. So here's what's coming up for you. You should be seeing the Mayones review next. And then we're going to do an interlude video, sort of like this, on the weekend. And we're going to put it out. And it's just going to recap short of the first 5, including the Mayones. The next week on our normal Thursday schedule, you're going to see number 6. And Colton has already decided that is going to be the Skrvessen, another Polish guitar. We're going to break that down. If you don't know nothing about those people, you really need to watch that video because we're going to enlighten you.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the stuff that we do here is just for that reason. I guarantee you we got, whatever subscribers we got and how many reviews we got. There's a ton of people that have seen these videos that don't know who Happus is. They don't know who Ashwood is.
Nope.
They don't know who Reichardt is.
Nope.
So what we're trying to do is just kind of get some attention to these guys that, you know, live and breathe building real instruments.
Yeah.
And so how have you felt about the whole roller coaster we've been on with these prices and getting these guitars and stuff? How do you feel about it?
I think it's pretty interesting to see the kind of quality, sound, you know, just craftsmanship you can get out of some of these builders.
And you know, there's not a builder we've reviewed. Probably not well, I won't say there's not a builder out there because some of them have constraints, but they'll build you anything you want. You can think it, they'll figure out how to do it.
Yeah.
So I hope this was a little bit informative. You have a little bit better idea on how things work behind the scenes here. We both have day jobs, so we're never going to be blowing up your inbox with all kinds of stuff every day or two because we got regular jobs. But hopefully our experiences this last almost year can translate into something beneficial for you guys. Whether you choose to use the information or not,
yeah,
it's probably pretty good information. So once again, my name is Rob.
My name's Colton.
And thank you for watching our small channel, Fret Not. We will be back to regularly scheduled program, which will be the High Gain series on our normal release of Thursdays. Until then,
stay tuned.